I'll just go over each of these in a little bit of detail, tell you how the original game plays, and then tell you what the expansion is going to add to the game. First, we have Kabuto Sumo, which is a bug sumo wrestling game where players are going to be pushing pieces on a small board, and the pieces that you push on are going to push other pieces around, and each player is going to have their own colored bug in that board, and you want to be the last player left on the board in order to win the game. And each of the players' bug meeple will be associated with a asymmetrical bug wrestler, and there's going to be more wrestlers added in the Total Mayhem expansion, as well as various items to be used as weapons and new victory conditions. And then we have QE, which is an economic game where players are playing as banks of different countries, and there are large companies that need bailing out, and players are going to be bidding on those different companies, printing money in order to buy those companies, but also trying to balance the amount of money that you print because you could potentially send your country into economic suicide. And the expansion for this one is going to add a bunch of commodities that players can purchase, such as gold, oil, or crypto, and it also offers some different ways for you to lower your total spending throughout the game. And then we have On Tour, which is a really interesting roll and write where players are each in their own band, and you're going to be traveling around a map trying to visit as many locations as possible, because whoever visits the most locations at the end of the game wins. And the way that players visit locations is that each round there's going to be 2 dice that get rolled, and these are both D10s, and then players can combine the 2 values that they see in any order to form a 2-digit number, and then you're going to write that number somewhere on your own personal map. This continues until your entire board is filled, and then you're going to be starting at the lowest number of your board and then connecting a line to the adjacent space that has the next lowest number above that number. And then you just keep doing this until you can no longer connect any numbers, and then you count up all the spaces that you're able to connect, and the player who has the most wins the game. And the Paris and New York expansion is actually a standalone expansion that you can play completely on its own, and it's going to introduce a new mechanism where players will have to use riverboats or ferries to reach certain destinations on their board. And the next game they're offering is Bites, which plays 2 to 5 players. It takes about 20 minutes to play. And in this game, players are going to be taking turns moving different colored ants across a trail of different food items. And the food items are also going to have a few different colors on them. And whenever a player moves an ant of a certain color, they have to move it to an item that matches that color, and then pick up an adjacent food item to keep for themselves. The catch here is that the different food items will be worth different amounts at the end of the game, because whichever ant reaches the end of the trail first, those matching color food items are going to be worth the most at the end of the game. But that's not the only way that scoring works in this game, because at the start of each game, you're going to be drawing 4 random variable scoring cards, and that's going to modify the way that players can earn victory points and create a lot of variability from game to game. And this new recipes expansion is going to be adding a bunch of new variable scoring cards for players to have even more variability from game to game. And Board Game Tables has an excellent track record publishing some great games with really impressive artwork, and it's no surprise to me that this one is our Discord pick of the week. So if these look interesting to you, I definitely recommend checking out their campaign. All of these games are really solid designs that would make an excellent addition if you're looking for a few more filler games for your collection.